Hello, and thanks for listening to this poster presentation. In published studies and national health surveys, 15 to 75% of multi-ethnic and low-income mothers experience high levels of depressive symptoms, but few seek treatment. Ways of coping impact the levels and onset of depressive symptoms, and coping styles, including treatment seeking for depression, vary based on socioeconomic status, age, and ethnicity. Few studies have examined strategies for coping with depressed mood and coping's relation to age, socioeconomic status, and ethnicity among these mothers at risk. The purpose of this study was to identify the most commonly used strategies for coping with a depressed mood and examine the relationship between coping styles, income, race, ethnicity, and age in an underrepresented sample of low-income or ethnic minority mothers at risk for clinical depression. A descriptive cross-sectional design was employed. A convenience sample of 117 low-income or ethnic minority mothers were recruited from 7 urban community sites in 2 different states. Participants responded to an open-ended question that asked about ways of coping with a depressed mood. Content and Pearson chi-square analysis was used to analyze the data. Percentages were used to categorize the responses according to the underlying theory of the Ways of Coping questionnaire and its 8 subscales. Exactly 117 mothers between the ages of 21 and 45 participated in the study. At least 78.6% were of low income, and more than half had a high school education only. Mothers were identified as Black African American, Hispanic, Latino, White Caucasian, biracial mixed, and other. Most mothers self-identified as Black African American. The majority of responses fell into the escape avoidance category, followed by the social support seeking category, positive reappraisal, planful problem solving, distancing, self-controlling, and confrontive coping. Exactly 59.1% of mothers provided only emotion-focused coping responses. No responses fit the accepting responsibility category, nor did any raw response indicate an intention to seek professional help. The most frequently reported raw strategy was listening to music. Neither race, age, nor income levels were related to coping styles. Emotion-focused coping strategies were reported most often, and problem-focused strategies least often. Researchers can examine the effectiveness of currently used strategies for coping with a depressed mood in future studies. Healthcare providers can encourage the use of currently used effective mechanisms to lower depressed mood and prevent the onset of clinical depression in this vulnerable group of mothers.